Hello and welcome everybody to our episode of GRIDwrap, and today we have with us Slim Warrior of Minorca Island in Second Life. Hello Slimmy, and welcome back, because we've invited you back so you can speak today.
Thank you. I've got nothing to say now.
Oh, right, left for 5 minutes or 5 seconds. And of course we have our regular guest, Tessa Harrington, here. Hello, Tessa. How are you doing?
Hello. Okay. How about you?
Oh, I'm fine. Nobody needs to know how I am. Right. We've just before we went up, we've been moaning our heads off about absolutely everything. So we've decided to actually settle and talk about what we'd set up to talk about, which is basically the future of music on the internet. And that's why we invited Slimmy here, because she's eminently capable of doing that, particularly as she has a tour named Rocking the Metaverse. Is that right, Slimmy?
I do. I don't actually have a tour. I was part of a group of 4 musicians, and the concept was sort of that we would visit different virtual worlds and to take the music with us and introduce live performances and DJs to platforms that weren't necessarily running them before. And I do believe that we were actually the one of the first. It was either Twinity or I'm just trying to think of the other one now. Twinity or Active Worlds. One of them, we were the first time. They hadn't had live music. They hadn't had live musicians in before. And I have to say that it was a great success, and we had a lot of fun. And I think what it did was sort of open the doors for perhaps developers of these platforms to think that, you know, here is something that is attractive for a community to be able to experience together. So it was great fun. It was a bit edgy on times when you're trying to log into a new platform and you don't know the controls or where to go or what to that, but everybody was very helpful, and really, really good fun. And it'll be resurrected very shortly in a slightly different format, but yeah.
Well, I was going to say there are a number of new grids have come on, new virtual worlds and all sorts of places to go now, so I would have thought you would be taking it out again. Do you know where you're going to be going?
Yes and no. I know one place definitely that we'll be going, but I'm not going to
tell us, is she?
We will definitely be here in Second Life. It does take a certain amount of planning and getting the word out behind the scenes, as you know, for any event. It requires quite a lot of organisation. There are a lot more platforms now that are able to offer streaming, the ability to, streaming music live and be on air and communicate with everybody that's in that particular platform. There are, of course, now, certainly Res Live, which is the brand new world with Adam Frisby as one of the developers for that. And he originally was involved with the long range concert that came into Second Life quite a few years ago now. And for those of you who don't know, Long Range are a UK band, and they came into Second Life and they had 12 Sims, and I was lucky enough to do the intro for them. So that was quite an experience. And so he's obviously taken that and looked into it a little bit more, and now has a dedicated world platform for concerts to take place. And I know that they're very new too, and they're just starting off, so obviously finding their feet. But it'll be interesting to see how it is when you actually get in there, what the concerts are like, what the reaction is from people going in to visit. At the moment, you can't get into any of it unless there's a show on.
Is that a good idea, to just have a space for just shows, as it were, so that they have no inhabitants effectively in between times?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because if you take something like Stream Jam, which has been run by Electric Sheep, that's been running for quite a bit of time, and it's only just now really that some of the Second Life musicians who've been performing in here for a little while have picked up on Stream Jam, which is an application that you can enter in Facebook. And I do remember going with Double Down Tandino and Mal Burns and Tara Yates, and we went in to try it out quite early on. And that's basically a scene where you can join in with your avatar, you can interact with everybody around you, and you can watch the musician live on a webcam within a virtual environment. So the musician themselves are not necessarily avatars as they would be in Second Life. They're live on a camera. So it's...
Right, okay.
For me, it's about people being there. You know, if it's just specifically just for a concert, yes, there is a place for that. There really is. But I think it depends on what format, what context. The success of music in Second Life is probably due to the fact that you can do other things too. You know, you can drop into a concert and then you can go off and do something else. And there is a risk when something is that specific, with that specific focus, that it may not be quite as successful. But it really depends on the interaction. Music in Second Life has been successful because we can interact with the musicians. As a musician, we can interact with our fans and supporters.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, some of what's, there's been a focus on, I want to get 2,000 people in one region to listen to a concert. And part of me kind of backs off that and says, but you know what I really want? I want to be like those small venues they have on, you know, the TV, what is it, Livewire or something like that, where you have like maybe 100 people sitting around these artists they adore. And it's really a very intimate experience. And I think that's where the net really could do something phenomenal to create that kind of venue where it's more of a small audience venue, maybe 200-300 people at most, not thousands. And I think that's when you get that resonation. And sure, you can stream that event to a much broader audience, but you know, make it like this really exclusive, you know, if you're a great fan kind of thing, their reward, you know, kind of thing, because those fans do a lot of work on the ground in the blogs and forums and stuff like that for the artists too. It'd be a great way to reward them. But you know, I would love to have a more intimate experience with, you know, somebody I adored like Imogen Heap and you know, the other artists I like. I don't know, Maroon 5, you know, Coldplay. You know, what would it be like to sit in a room with where there's only 100 or 200 other people and get a chance to actually get, you know, maybe a question in? That would be awesome.
Well, Tessa, that brings me to the fact you're setting up a music grid, aren't you? Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so is it with that sort of gig in mind?
Actually, yeah, we're going to be using our cloud technology. There will be a persistent region for people to come in as a community and hang out in between concerts. But the idea is to give the musicians a very affordable way to fund their own event, that they don't need $1 gazillion to do this, that they can focus on the marketing, and we'll focus on the venue as far as setting it up and giving them the scenery and giving them a place for all their people to come to and gather together and then stream them into the cloud technology where they can all enjoy it with a, you know, lagless experience. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. But so far, cloud has proven to be really dynamic and robust. And you know, we're looking for artists who want to come in and help us kick the tires on it. Anybody who feels like they can throw 100 people at us, we'd love to really put the cloud through its test and see how far we can push it, because we really think we could probably go 150, maybe even 200, but we'll never know if we don't get the people in there to test it and see where is the point we get to where there's really a lag issue, you know. But the idea is to give the artists for a very affordable 2-hour rate something they can throw a concert together and actually make money off of, because I think it's time we stop thinking of everything for free. I think it's time we start supporting these artists, even if it's just 50 cents or $1 a head. I think that would make a huge difference for those artists to help fund their careers. And, I mean, that's what we would tip them the value of in Linden's anyway, so why not just do it at the door? if you know that artist and you know their music and you love what they have, and we can give snippets in the community area before they come in. So even if you don't know them, you get a chance to hear them. Certainly, you can tell if you appeal to that music or not. But that's the primary goal of Music a Jam. Don't go to the website; it's not done. It's not there.
Not ready yet.
Musicajam.com. Yeah, we're not there yet. But that's the whole idea behind the project, is to give those musicians that venue.
Yeah. Slimmy, what do you think about being paid?
I think it would be very nice. I don't think any musician would object to being paid. I think, but again, there's a lot of